Okay. Hello again. I'm Timmie.
And I'm Jeanette.
And we are two friends and an owl. We get together and talk about topics that we love to talk about. And we just threw in a topic. I don't know what she put in, and she doesn't know what I put in. But they elevate our brain and our lives, and we just have fun. So, welcome to the fun, and hopefully, you get some value out of our time. It is her turn to pick a topic.
Oh, this one's interesting. This is my topic actually, but I have it's interesting that I wanted to talk about it.
Oh,
but I don't
interesting.
really have a perspective
Okay.
because this is kind of not my life exactly. Yeah, but it's personal magic and adventure.
Okay.
So what do you think of when you
So
hear
the
that?
first thing I think of is an experience I just had where I had to go to get a ultrasound mammogram, and I was not happy about it because it's like an hour and a half away, and I was feeling irritated that I had to spend the money on something that I just needed a mammogram, but because of some stuff that had happened, I had to do this in order to go back to just having a regular mammogram. So I was driving, and as I was driving, there was a light bulb that went on, and I was like, oh, what if this could be a really good thing? I went with my parents, and my parents drove. And as I was driving to my parents' house, I had all this time to play in the magic. And the magic was I was playing with, I shifted from feeling irritated to, well, mom and dad can have a really nice lunch together and just really enjoy themselves. And I just pictured them enjoying themselves and laughing as they dropped me off and went and had lunch. And then I started just feeling peaceful, and I was doing one of the things I like to do is if I'm feeling anxious or irritated or frustrated or worried is I'll actually go, ah, because to me that feels like life is good feeling. So I'm dropping into that life is good feeling. Ah. So I was doing that as I was driving to my parents' house, and I was doing that, and I was having specific thoughts in my brain is like, what if this actually turns out to be a really great experience? And wouldn't it be nice if actually something happened to where the doctors could code the visit to where it was preventative, so I wouldn't have to pay anything? Wouldn't that be lovely? And then I started going into the whole wouldn't it be lovely experience, and then I was singing my song, and I will sing it because I made this up a long time ago. It's part of a song, but I made it to fit for me. And it was, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Only good's coming my way. There is love in the air all around me. There is peace in the air all around me. There is a peace in my heart and a smile on my face, and I feel love all over the place. So that's basically it. But I was doing that over and over, and I was really getting into that space. By the time I got to my parents, we got to the doctor's office. I told them my concerns that, I really don't want to keep coming back for these expensive ultrasounds when I have to drive an hour and a half one way. And so I had the mammogram done, and she had me waiting in the waiting room, and then I was going to do the ultrasound part, and she goes, well, I talked to the doctor, and you don't have to have an ultrasound, and you could just go back to your regular mammogram. So not only did I not have to pay for anything, but I get to go back to my mammograms. But it was magic. Then I got dressed, and I'm like, okay, I can call my parents that I'm ready to be picked up. And I'm a 56-year-old woman calling my parents to pick me up.
From the doctor.
They're always going to be your parents. There's always going to be your parents. So I'm like, no, just wait. And so I got dressed, and I was going to call. I'm like, no, just wait until you get out to the lobby. So I opened the door to the lobby, and there were my parents standing there. And we were both shocked, and I was like, what are you doing here? And they were shocked. And it's like, what are you doing out already? And the timing of everything was just magical. So that was for me playing in my own personal magic. I created the magic, I feel.
Right.
So I don't know that when you first mentioned that topic, that was the first thing that I thought of. And little synchronicities that happen in life.
Right.
Like, wow, that couldn't have been more perfect. The little orchestrations that happen, those to me are like the little magic things that happen.
Right. And that makes perfect sense. I think knowing that life works for us in general, just having that idea in our head or that belief in our head, I think it would cause a lot of those, like you said, synchronicities. It would cause a lot of that magic. And I think there's also, for me, there's the aspect of just knowing that life is magic, especially when I am dealing with something difficult or whatever. It's being able to remember that it is magical in the orchestration of it all, even when it doesn't feel good in a moment. But yeah, I have yet to really open myself up to the idea. But it's interesting that I was playing there because I really wanted to talk about it. Um, but yeah, not having an understanding of why.
Well, I think it's practiced.
True.
Cause
I
like,
agree.
and noticing, like, another example is I went to get gas and I usually stop at an even number, so I write it in my checkbook and I know that it's even. Um, it stopped at 55.68. Well, my birthday's 5/5/68.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm not changing that. That one's staying right there. But
Right.
noticing
Yeah.
those little magical moments, I start to see through those, rose colored, the magical colored glasses.
Right.
Is practicing seeing the magic, then playing with creating the magic, like shifting, like what channel do I want to be paying attention to right now? There is magic. There is like amazing things that are happening if I open my eyes to filter and see that.
Right. I've called them. I've called
You've
these
had
different
many.
oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But I remember thinking and saying out loud, to you too, the universe giving you the wink and the nod.
Yes.
It's like those moments where you just get that wink and a nod. It doesn't have to be big or a glaring miracle or anything like that. It's just those little winks and nods,
Yes.
from the universe. And sometimes it's in those moments where I think, yeah, the universe really does has a sense of humor.
Yes.
Those kind of things come up for me. But yeah, I know
Our light just went
the light
off.
just went out
And I
again.
just realized, and I apologize for our video, I just realized that the blinds are so bright the way I have them set up. So I'm going to change that right now.
Is that why the light went out?
Yes, I thought I haven't been able to see very well.
Oh, interesting.
There. And now the light went out. I don't know why the light went out. Maybe it just sucks up so much battery. Yeah, anyway.
Technical difficulties.
The wink and the
The
nod.
wink and the nod. The
The wink.
universal wink and a nod.
Yep.
And synchronicities.
Yes.
So what about adventure? So what do you think of when you hear that about adventure too?
When I hear the word adventure, the first thing that comes to my mind is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride
Oh, funny.
from Disneyland.
Right.
Like, because as a kid, that was fun. That wasn't like scary or anything. I guess adventure, it means that excited feeling inside me. Because an adventure can be even a book that I'm reading or a class that I'm taking or a conversation that I'm having. This is like an adventure. That I mean, there's many different types of adventures.
True.
So
No, they are. Well, and what you said was perfect as far as it being a mindset.
yeah.
Maybe adventure isn't about the event itself. It's more about the mindset with which we take, go through the event essentially. Anything at that point could be an adventure.
Yeah. What do you think of when you think of adventure?
I don't know. That's what I say.
I just
I
wanted to.
think it's interesting that I wrote it down only because I was feeling for a connection to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it seemed really important at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's part of me that thinks there are fun adventures. I mean, there's fun magic and adventure. And then there's a little bit of me that kind of stands in that, has my life been filled with adventure that's not exactly fun, that's not on the fun side? Or am I thinking that the fun part, am I thinking that the fun is a necessary element and it's not? Do you know what I mean? If I were to think about expansive adventures, like
Mm-hmm.
something that expanded me, my entire life is that.
Mm-hmm.
If I think about magic in the sense of what I couldn't see to what I can see, that's magic. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
But it's different than, I guess it's different than the maybe youthful thought of magic and adventure.
Mm-hmm.
To think about it as an adult at our stage of life and having the experiences that we've had, collectively through our life, thinking about magic and adventure just seems quite different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the fun, playful necessarily, thing that I thought it was as a girl, and maybe it doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
But has my life been filled with magic? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even the tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
even in the
Mm-hmm.
worst times, there's magic. I mean, just magic at the same time. The adventure, not so fun, maybe often. And at the same time, adventure,
Mm-hmm.
took me on a ride. I went on the ride and I survived it. So maybe there's just a different way of looking at it that I was kind of feeling for from that kind of youthful. It must be fun, right? No, maybe not necessarily. I don't know. I was just kind of feeling for the space of it.
Yeah, and I guess it's like the meaning of adventure to each person.
Mm-hmm.
For me, adventure might just be new territory, period.
Right.
But to me, adventure is connected with, like excitement because it's new. I guess adventure to me is new. There's a newness to it.
Right.
I don't,
Ooh, and that leads me to unknown.
yeah.
Could we experience adventure and magic just because something's unknown?
Mm-hmm. That's
Because it can only be unknown once.
yeah, because once you know, you know.
Yeah. And then you never get that adventure again.
No.
So even at that point, um, a mishap or an experience that maybe isn't so fun, once it's known, it's still that adventure, it's still that ride that you took.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know, it's interesting, but I definitely feel that feeling for the space of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to talk any more about it? Do you have any? Do you feel complete on it? Do you feel like you sussed it out enough for now?
I think it's interesting. It's an interesting topic, and I think I think it's definitely there's more to it than that childish thing. So I think we covered that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you coming along for the ride on this adventure, and hopefully you experienced a little magic today and enhanced your life just a little bit. That's all we're striving for.
That's right.
Thanks for coming along. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.